Loss of biodiversity, degradation of seas and oceans, climate change, pollution, invasive species, emerging diseases. Everyone is talking about these issues, but what do they really mean? Why do they matter to us? And what can we do to make a difference and help protect our planet? These are complex topics that we invite you to explore with us through 18 short learning episodes. Sustainable development is fashionable. Companies are looking to become greener, more respectful of the environment. Their revenues depend on us buying their products, and they understand that our values and expectations are changing. We want cleaner products. So let's find out together how technological advances are enabling us to make great progress. Energy first of all. We're making better and better use of renewable energies, which come from sources that can't be exhausted, such as the sun, wind, thanks to wind turbines, geothermal energy, and so on. Thanks to dams, waves, and tides, we can also produce electricity using water. We also need to think about varying energy sources. They need to be combined to avoid relying on just one resource, such as fossil fuels. In many places, burning coal is still the only source of electricity. For example, in a city with a lot of sunshine, you can install solar panels on buildings, use kinetic energy on the roads, or the wind, or geothermal energy to generate additional power at night. And of course, be careful not to waste energy. Today's technology allows us to combine these different sources and make optimal use of them. So, why deprive ourselves? Of course, there is still much room for improvement. For example, we now know how to produce energy from hydrogen, the gas that allows the sun itself to shine. Unfortunately, this gas is difficult to produce, store, and transport, and a great deal of progress is still needed before it can be used on a massive scale. The development of electric cars is very promising. In terms of greenhouse gas emissions, electric cars are the way to go. No petrol, no smoke, and therefore no air pollution. However, battery production generates a lot of pollution and consumes many rare raw materials such as lithium. Engineers are also working to make air transport cleaner. The first electric aircraft should be on the market within a few years. And we're also exploring the use of hydrogen produced from water as a source of combustion. Of course, public transport is, and will remain, essential for limiting our impact. We can count on new connected tools to encourage its use or even carpooling. Online applications make it easier to use these modes of transport and will continue to innovate in the future. Adopting environmentally friendly transport will no longer be a constraint, but an easy, inexpensive, and enjoyable experience. We are also thinking about reinventing our cities to make them smart cities. A smart city is one that uses new technologies to optimize its entire organization. The aim is to improve the quality of life of its inhabitants while minimizing the impact on the environment. We need to completely rethink our homes, the way we manage our waste, the way we get around, and so on. We also need to change the way we consume and produce. We produce too much, and when we have too much, we waste it. So we destroy natural areas to create farmland, only to end up not using what has been produced and throwing away out-of-date food. When pollinators disappear, we develop drones to replace them. These flying robots mimic the pollination process carried out by insects, but it would still be better to keep our bees. Even water is benefiting from technology. Desalination, i.e. the production of fresh water from salt water, is developing thanks to technologies that reduce the cost and energy used, in particular by reusing the salt collected. Technological advances are also revolutionizing the way we protect biodiversity. In parks, which are sometimes far from urban centers and less connected, many solutions are being developed to improve activities, ensure people's safety, and increase knowledge of animal and plant species. All kinds of sensors can be used in the wilderness, whether audio or video, to track animals, people, or activities. Thanks to satellites, it's easy to find out what's going on in parks. From space, animals can be fitted with GPS collars to find out where they are moving, where they are feeding, where they are breeding. But similar sensors can also be used to track guards so that they can come to their aid in the event of danger. All these changes are happening gradually. Some changes depend directly on us, others depend on our governments and companies. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, and in the next episode, we'll look at how we can really become agents of change. We've reached the end of this episode. Thank you for listening attentively. Visit www.youth-conservation.org to learn more and explore all our resources dedicated to the environment and its protection. See you soon for the next episode.